and look ahead to this weekend. Mississippi State is at home this Saturday, third game of the year. They win the opener against Eastern Kentucky. They dropped one last week on the road to Arizona State. And now they have the Toledo Rockets rolling into Starkville, shooting into Starkville, or something like that. Oh, don't roll your eyes at my dad joke. Don't you do it.
I just did. I did.
Hey, Dad, tell me more about Toledo.
They are a very odd team statistically.
Okay.
They've played 2 games, obviously. They've put up big points in those games. They're averaging 43 points per game. They're only averaging 320 yards of offense a game. The quarterback's only completing about 48% of his passes thus far on the season. They forced 4 turnovers in 2 games. I thought maybe they just had a bunch of defensive touchdowns. It's nothing like that. They get a lot of points, but they don't get a lot of yards. So I guess when they're really a feast or famine kind of team from the looks of things. They're either 3 and out or they're going to score a touchdown, one of the two. So that, we talked yesterday. We made them the fishy line of the week. Seeing these kind of numbers makes me think that that's going to end up holding up, and we're going to be right for a third week in a row. Just because Mississippi State defensively, yes, they're not great this year, and yes, they were exposed and beaten up really badly last week, but Arizona State is a much, much better football team than Toledo is, and I think State's defense can get as much of a bounce-back game as they're capable of getting.
What does that look like? Pressure on the quarterback, stopping the run, what?
Yeah, at least they need to show you some things they haven't shown you, and that's 2 things that they haven't. They have not done a great job of pressuring the quarterback. They have not done a great job of stopping the run. They need to, you get Florida, and then you get Texas, and then you get Georgia. So if you don't start stopping the run now, it's going to be a long time before you have another chance to really stop it. So State needs, as much of a get-right game as a game against a group of 6 MAC team can be. This is what this needs to be. It needs to be a total blowout, total control from start to finish. And if you can do that, you can rebuild a little bit of the excitement with Florida coming in next week in a game that, I said before the season, was the most important game. Maybe Arizona State kind of supplanted that a little bit, and then you let that one get away. Now there's no question. If you want to have any chance of a postseason this year in Starkville, it has to start with beating Florida next week. So this week is obviously huge too, because you can't screw that up. You'll lose everybody at that point. You'll play Florida in front of 25,000 people.
Oof. Couple of things to me that stand out for Mississippi State. We know they play fast. What does that mean, though, in terms of scoring? Through 2 games, Mississippi State has scored 9 touchdowns. 5 of them have come in under 2 minutes. 3 of those have come in under 32 seconds, and 2 of them in under 15 seconds. Their average time of possession per drive this season is 1:53. If you go 1:53 on a drive and you end it with points, you can live with that. If you go 1:53 or less and it results in a punt or a turnover, that is asking a lot of your defense. We talked about the fact that Arizona State had 40 minutes and change in terms of time of possession. 2-to-1 time of possession is pretty significant.
It is. But like you said, if you're getting points, nobody cares. That was State's problem. They weren't getting points. They only had 3 points in the first half this past Saturday. So State's got to be cleaner offensively in the run game. Again, this might be there's only 2 teams left on the schedule that I can sit here with a straight face and tell you that I think State can physically outmatch on both lines of scrimmage. This is one of them. You need to find some explosive plays in the run game. And I don't know if that means that you got to maybe settle on one guy to be the lead back in this and get him more carries and let him try to work himself into a rhythm, or do you just keep trying things until something works? I don't know the answer to that, but State wasn't very impressive running the football against Eastern Kentucky. They certainly weren't against Arizona State. Keep going back to this, but State on the season is averaging, I think, 3.9 yards per carry. That's with 1 carry for 41 yards from Creed Whittemore, which is, I mean, if you take that outlier out, you're around just over 3 yards a carry.
Yeah.
You know, you guys know this offense. This is what Ole Miss ran under when Levy was there, and you know how important the running game is. I said it before, I'll say it again. This is not the air raid. You cannot have a game where you rush for 30, 40 yards and hope to win. You've got to have balance. You've got to have some dominance in the ground game. So State's got to find that this weekend. I don't know who that back is going to be or if it's going to be all 3 guys finally showing up, but somebody's got to start doing that.
Couple of notes. Isaac Smith has been the leading tackler for Mississippi State in both games so far this season. Had 17 against Arizona State. He leads the SEC and is number 2 nationally at 14 tackles per game. Blake Shapen has 13 consecutive games in which he has played where he has thrown a touchdown pass going back to November 19th of 2022 against TCU. 7 times he's thrown at least 2 touchdowns. And going back to early November of last year, Blake Shapen has really protected the football. 99 straight pass attempts without an interception. That goes back to November 11th of last year when he was still with Baylor. Also, hey, Dad, one of the stories in camp that we kept going back to was Jeff Levy wanting his team to play clean football and not have a lot of pre-snap penalties, not have a lot of stuff that causes them to bog down, self-inflicted wounds. State's the least penalized team in the SEC. 7 penalties for a total of 50 yards through 2 games.
That's a good thing, especially when, like I said, if they're already not doing a great job of running the football, but, man, if you put yourself into 2nd and 15, 1st and 15, I mean, with this offense the way it's struggling on the ground right now, that is a bad place to be.
Do you know how many new players Mississippi State has played through 2 games? Borky, you want to take a guess at this?
It's at least 20. Are you talking just offensively or defensively as well?
No,
both sides of the ball?
Altogether.
40.
Yeah.
36.
Yeah.
22 transfers and 14 true freshmen. 18 of the 36 have played in both games. 9 transfers have started 2 games. 2 others have started 1. No true freshman has started a game this season yet, though.
Trying to think who the first one would be. Maybe Craver, but, you know.
Maybe.
Mosley has been really good, and Coleman's been really good. I don't know.
Of the 14 true freshmen that have played, only 6 of them have played in both games. Stonka Burnside, Mario Craver, Xavier Gayton, Jatavius Johnson, Kai McClendon, and Cyrus Reyes. Those are the – is it Reyes or Reyes?
I believe it's Reyes.
Okay, Cyrus Reyes. Those are the 6 true freshmen that have played in both games so far for Mississippi State, and likely will continue to, right?
Yeah, in all likelihood.
Yeah.